Business. What do you want to talk about? Any questions at all? I'll talk about niche, pricing, all of that good stuff. Go for it. Yes, the niche. What's the question?
Well, so my niche at the moment is to do with athletes and their mindset. I haven't gotten many, actually.
Yep, that's not a niche.
Okay.
What's the problem you solve?
To get their results, so to get them more focused if they're feeling like there's been, they're not getting their results.
So I can tell you have really no idea about this niche. You haven't done the research. I can tell that, which is fine. That's the reason why you haven't got any clients. The first thing we do, we teach in the 100K, is you've got to go actively doing research to find out what they want, why they want it, their words, what the specific outcome is. It can't be generic like, and you'll see this all the time. Go around on Facebook and look at a lot of therapists and coaches' websites or profiles, and they say something like, I'm a mindset coach. Mindset coach is not a niche. If you go, for example, like to my Facebook, you can instantly tell what I do and the problem we solve. For me, with lawyers and quitting smoking, it was, I help lawyers quit smoking on their lunch break. There's no confusion in that.
Yeah.
A contrast would be like, I help introverted soulpreneurs to get out of their own way, to feel the spice of life and connect with unlimited energy to become the almighty, powerful God they are. What the fuck does that mean? And it's probably a niche out there like that. It doesn't mean anything. That's coming from the coach and the therapy language.
Yeah.
So you've got to ask yourself, do athletes use the word mindset, or is it something else they use?
Right.
You've got to do that research.
Or, well, because that but I'm confused because you said, well, if you're close to that, maybe that shouldn't be what you do.
That's just a consideration. It's not a rule. It's just a consideration.
Right.
Okay. And it's only if you find that, oh, in this niche, every time I work with that specific client, my own stuff gets triggered. I would probably rethink that niche, because it's very hard to be a good therapist when you're on. Can you imagine asking a client the hypnotic interview while you're breaking down in tears as well?
Yeah.
Because your own stuff is being triggered. So sometimes being very, very far away from the problem is good. Sometimes being a part of it, or being a part of it, helps. You've got to juggle those elements. It's got to be part of the consideration of what the niche is.
Yeah. No, it's not drilling, but I said I've done like another program where they do it. They've given you the course. It's all online, and you got it. But it was a little bit arcade. And I'm not saying yours is, but I've done the go into Facebook. You don't have to, do your social media, and I've done all the lives and everything. Is there a different?
Yeah, you haven't found a niche yet. So that's why it hasn't worked. You can do all the Facebook lives, YouTube videos you want, but if your niche is not right, it's not going to work.
Okay.
That's how I know you've missed the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the niche right, everything else is a waste of time. Okay. So if all people are taught is, build a business on Instagram, I've seen those courses out there, but don't teach a niche. They don't teach you how to price. They're focusing on one thing. Before anything else starts, you need a niche. You can do a live every hour in front of 1 million people. But if they don't care what you're talking about or have no idea what you're talking about, they won't buy your service or your product.
And will you help, critique with the website or whatever we have to do?
Forget about a website. You need a niche first. Websites are a waste of time. Forget about website, even as a marketer. Unless you're running ads to it, waste of time.
Okay.
Where do your clients hang out? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok, probably.
Yes.
So we go there. No client is looking around on Google for websites. It's like when people say, Scott, I handed out 1,000 flyers. Who here gets those flyers and puts them in the bin? I do. I don't wait near my letterbox for the next flyer. So forget about flyers and business cards and networking events, because that's not where your clients hang out. We have to get really specific of where your clients are, so we know where to go and where not to waste time. Okay. We call this a fancy word, we call it asymmetry. Doing less but getting more. So for us, asymmetrically in my company, the majority of our cash flow comes from YouTube. It's why I do so much work with YouTube. It used to be Facebook. Then it went to Instagram for a while. LinkedIn has never been good for us, which is quite surprising. YouTube and Udemy are our main asymmetrical moves, and that's why I spend so much time doing content there. But we've got other students that get it all from Facebook. They get nothing from YouTube. So again, every business is different. The principles remain the same. But I can always tell when someone is not getting clients is when I ask them about their niche and, what's the niche? Well, I sort of help, I can tell they've done no research. We don't want to guess. The niche has to be spot on.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the course.
I might not let you in, so who knows?
Hey!
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, we get the niche done first. So we get the niche, the system, the prices, what we call your MOS, which is minimum optimum service, which ACH fits in perfectly. Least amount of time with clients, most amount of money. We want to get them a quick result. Move into sales, social media, more social media, scaling, automation, virtual assistants. I even show you how to do your accounting and your taxes because it's a part of the system. That's how intricate this thing goes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
How long does it, and the course goes for?
It's about 8 weeks now, but it's not meant to be just sat through and finished.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Sarah Picaro is here. I always use her as an example. And she's been there for like 2 years and she only just finished it after 2 years.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, you don't get through the week in a week.
Yeah. Yeah, because the whole idea is to get too busy to worry about my course.
Yeah. That comes at week 2.
Yeah. But everything comes from the niche. Think of the niche as just important as the hypnotic interview.
Yeah.
That's how important that is.
Okay. So you can, when you do your program, it's I think it goes for, do you start it and then can get clients? Sorry for taking so long.
Oh, these questions. Yeah, the whole point is to get the business, the niche picked as quickly as possible. Easier said than done. There's a lot that goes into that. And the whole idea is to start getting cash flow in the business immediately. But if you don't get cash flow, we've got things we put in place to be able to rectify parts of the system that aren't working. Maybe we need to change the niche. Maybe we need to adjust the prices. There's a lot of moving parts at the start to adjust and change and move things around until you hit the perfect ratio of everything. It's like a recipe. We've got to get those elements right. Or you can do what everybody else does and just guess. And then
you can help with pricing. So that's something that you can, you know, they'll question, oh, that's too expensive. So you'll help.
Yeah. Well, the pricing comes, pricing comes down to economics of a business. Someone says, I want to earn $10,000 a month. I go, great. How much are you charging? $50. What's that? 300 or 400 clients a month? Good luck.
Mm.
Okay. So it's not about getting back-to-back clients because that model doesn't work. It doesn't scale. We're about getting less clients at more money. And that's why I keep saying what makes an awesome client is all the stuff we've done beforehand, which is all the business stuff. They're all related along the system. And it's a dynamic system. And once you feed stuff into it, it comes out the other end. And what comes out the other end, you feed back into it. It's like a thought loop going round and round.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Treat, go for it.
Yeah, my question is about the symptoms. So like we know, like from this course, we know that the symptom is just the symptom and they can come from different root cause. So even the same symptom, but come from different root cause. So I have the list of the symptom right now, but I don't know how to explain that on Facebook about the root cause because we know the root cause is different.
Yeah.
So do you have any?
Yeah, when you make your content, the whole idea behind it is don't try and explain ACH in the way that you understand symptoms. Don't do that. When it comes to Facebook, it's just about just giving a very simple explanation, but it's the title of the video that has the symptom in it. That's what's important. Very rarely is a client going to watch that video all the way through, but you'll probably find, as most do, because it's the same for me, I repeat myself in every single video because it's all the same stuff that's related. So you might relate everything back to how the unconscious mind works. That's fine. Some clients need to hear it over and over, but you don't need to get into detail of every symptom is different because every client, you don't do that because they won't understand it. What's important about the business thing is you've got the video, but what gets the attention of someone seeing that you're an expert is the title. What's said in the video is sometimes irrelevant. It's the title and what it suggests it's going to talk about. And if a client sees that over and over, now they recognize as, oh, you're the expert in that. Does that sort of make sense? Because even
yeah, so the way I educated myself about the niche is I have the symptom and I search the symptom on Google and or whatever from the books. But I feel like when I'm reading the content, it doesn't really make sense to what I'm doing. Because those one is kind of like it's come to the conscious. It's not the subconscious, so it doesn't really make sense with what I'm doing. So I'm not sure, should I use that in my video or I
just want to keep it really simple. So you can basically relate everything back to, hey, the reason you've still got your problem is because there's an unconscious payoff, and an unconscious payoff is this. See you on the next video. Be quick. Don't try and explain the explanation because they won't get it. And there's no point because they're not there for that. It's a meta level above that. It's, oh, I keep seeing this guy post things about quitting smoking. I haven't watched his videos, but he must know his stuff because look at all the content. But if you listen to the content, it's you saying the same stuff over and over. But it's that first initial glimpse of, this guy must know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Does that matter? The title is more important than the content itself. You've just got to lead your client to believe that I know something a little bit more than you.
Okay, because I feel like it's weird like to talk the same, the same thing
just
on every
really basic. Yeah, keep it basic in your content because you know when it comes to therapy, that's when it gets complex. But that's again why I say you don't have to explain to your clients how ACH works or what you're going to do because they're not going to understand it. The complexity remains with you, and it's you to do that.
Okay, I see.
Does that help?
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's pretty helpful. Thank you.
Perfect. Maya, go for it.
Thank you, Scott. Okay, well, I run a full-time business. I support my 2 kids doing this. I didn't really plan it this way, so I'm still surprised. And so I can see that the whole thing is not set up right. So I'll sign up for your next course, no problem. Happy to see the explanation. But in the meantime, what are the practical steps that are going to need to happen? Like what I just asked about, now am I going to set up a new schedule so that I have more time to work with each person? Like, could you give us some practical advice on how to transition?
Yep. Transition very quickly. Get rid of what's not working and try something else. Just follow the way that we give it to you.
Okay, so I'm going to sign up for the next course, and in the meantime, change the days to 2 3-hour segments so that you only see 2 people at a time, 2 people a day, I mean.
Yep.
And immediately now the pricing is...
Dive straight into high prices. High prices, everything I teach you, the best thing you can do is dive head first into it. Who cares if you can't swim? Just dive into it.
Does anxiety and PTSD get the same price as quit smoking, or do they?
It's all the same. It's based on economics, not based on what the industry will pay every time.
So it's basically a uniform system here. Everything is going to look pretty much.
It's because uniformity in a business allows us to track things, right, and iterate and change things. But if there's little elements all over the place that don't match, the system breaks down. There's a strict set of rules that we've got to follow. It's totally opposite to therapy. Business is 100% logic. Therapy is a bit of abstraction logic. It's all over the place. It's very messy. But the system of a business must remain completely chaos-free for us to be able to change and move things. And the elements of the system that I give you are all based on logic, the maths, the economics, where to get clients, what to say, how to do it. So you can turn your brain off. You've just got to follow that system.
Am I supposed to pursue the things that have been recommended to me by others, like classes or free workshop, you know, like the...
Hell no.
That's all over?
Hell no. Why the hell would you give anything away for free? You'll give enough free content away to worry about classes and free Facebook groups and all that stuff.
So basically that's just the old school way of doing what social media and
it's what everybody says to do. Yeah. Makes sense. Ours is heavily focused on educating your clients on why you're an expert.
Right.
And that doesn't involve free stuff.
Thank you.
And by the way, if Maya signs up, I'm not splitting the referral 102 ways. So don't ask me. All right. I'm not going to do it that way. Haley, go for it. Just tell me yourself.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, I started on a quit smoking thing because classical hypnosis niche thing, and I felt like that's what I'd been trained to do because I did the expert hypnosis thing.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm kind of realizing that with the niches, yeah, I find it. I was looking through the Facebook groups because I did the 100K. Sorry, my computer. We've got a malware problem. I don't know what's happening with it. Yeah, with the 100K thing, I'm Facebook groups finding the niches. Like now, I don't think I want to do quit smoking. I don't think it's.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I do not. You know what I mean? I think that was more down to what I've been trained of. Oh, that's.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, with the groups, how do you find them really? Like,
go back to video number 2 on week 1 and press play.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
Refresh
start
yourself
all over again.
Yeah. What's funny is a lot of people from doing this ACH course will probably go refresh themselves and see a new element of a niche they didn't realize was there.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing for you to do. If you like, it's sort of a double-edged sword. You've got to be good at what you do. So if someone's incredible at helping people quit smoking, but they hate it, that's going to be a conflict. But the other side of it, you may love doing something, but you're not that good at that therapeutically.
Yeah.
On top of that, you might be really passionate about something, but there's no money in it. So you have to juggle all those elements to make a pure logical decision, not based on emotion.
Okay.
So I would suggest refresh everything. I don't know if you've seen the latest version. It's not too latest. It was quite a few months back.
Okay.
Of the symptom hunting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go refresh yourself on that.
Yeah.
But now look at what is possible based on what you know about ACH now. It might alert you to a niche that, wow, didn't see that one before, and that sounds interesting. I'm going to investigate that.
Yeah, because I felt like I didn't have the tools. Like, felt like I was kind of just faking it because you got these scripts and stuff, and it's just like thinking that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I just didn't get clients. Clients because I felt like, oh man, I can't ask someone for money because I'm just reading them something, you know, like, and
so the best thing you can do, you can really tie 2 elements together. You practice the hell out of what you learn in ACH, plus you follow what's in the 100K as far as the symptom hunting and looking at logically, and you get the best at both. You find a niche where there's not a lot of competition. Plus, you become the real expert because you know what the fuck to do with your therapy. There's no faking it in between. You just get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be the best at both. You have to strive to be the best at both.
Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. But remember, you got the Facebook group as well. Ask questions. If you get stuck, put your hand up. That's what we're there for as well. But you put your hand up for the ACH stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely. I came across you by accident. It was so bizarre.
Sorry about that.
In my when I was starting the hypnosis, I did this. I won a competition to win hypnosis.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, do I need an office? That's all I searched.
Yeah.
And then I found you, and I'm like, no.
What did I say? Don't get an office.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, you're real.
Yeah.
You're like, this is who to go, right? Yeah.
Just gotta follow it.
Yeah.
Remember, I've been in your shoes before. That's the only reason I know. I don't know anything about anything else. Because it's all I've done.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So I'm gonna just start again. With the ACH and
refresh yourself, ask questions, become a part of the group again, put your hand up, ask questions, catch up with everybody else.
Yeah.
The only way you can fail at this is just by not doing it. But sometimes some people have to do it a lot before it happens. That's part of life. There's There's no magic to it. It's about grinding it out. I talked about this yesterday. You've got those people that become like accidentalpreneurs. They make one ebook and they're a multi-millionaire the next day. That wasn't me. I had to grind my ass off of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how to work. So there's no magic formula to this. The magic formula is consistency. Keep going, keep going. Even when it all seems like it's turning to shit, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because all the stuff you do today shows up tomorrow.
Okay.
Like I have people booking strategy calls from things I did 7 years ago. If I hadn't done it then and kept doing it, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the way life is. That's logic. That's pure business. All this other stuff of clear mindset blocks and stuff.
Oh, well, that's what I got caught up in my training, because
remember they're all conclusions. If someone says, oh, I've got money blocks, no, you don't. It's impossible. You're guessing.
Yeah.
That blows that up.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Henning, go for it.
All right. Starting off more like with a confirmation basis from my understanding, and also like what we've discussed earlier, therapy versus coaching. So unlike many others here, it seems like that, my background is coaching, and I have an NLP background, but not therapy, RTT, all of that stuff. Haven't done. So now the change with ACH could be potentially now to do anywhere like as quick as possible, to do therapy first with my niche, remove all the knots, and then develop over time basically a program, like a coaching program, more like an automated way to say like, well, all right, now as we've removed the emotional load, here are the tactics now in support of in case my niche, and just like, well, here are eating plans, exercise plans, whatever, but they are automated. They don't take up my time.
Exactly.
You can consume them. Here's a group coaching program or whatever, where accountability happens, blah, 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 blah. And basically set it up that way.
That's the way it should be set up. That's what Tanya was talking about yesterday. That's what she's doing. What makes the coaching work better is the stuff you do beforehand. Okay. But to save on time, you can automate the stuff that's pure logic, you can automate. That's why the 100K is pre-recorded, because it's pure logic. There's no emotional stuff in it. But you could do with the ACH stuff that would get rid of everything anyway. So when it comes to do the coaching, they're so fucking open to the coaching where results just skyrocket. But to save you time and to MOS the business, you definitely want to automate that part so you're not repeating yourself over and over again. So, and that's a long-term vision for your business. And then what you can focus on, which makes it even better, you'll naturally get better at ACH. That's perfect. But your automated part of the program can get more refined. Trimming away the fat just becomes so succinct that you end up making something that is so fucking incredible. It outdoes all your competition and your prices can be 10 times as high. That's the real long-term vision of the business. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And so that basically just like means for the first few therapy clients, just jump, practice here in the group as much as possible, just like get fucking good at ACH and just get the people results as quickly as possible. Because
remember, what you think might need to go in your coaching program, you're only basing that just off guessing. Once you get more clients coming through, you start to think, oh, actually, they don't need that part, but oh my God, they definitely need that part. I didn't think of that before. That's what makes a program incredible. What makes a program shit is when people create something based on what they want their people to have, rather than what they want their clients to, rather than what their clients need. Big difference. And that'll set you apart, differentiating your service as to, man, this guy's program works. Every other program I've been on has been shit. This one works. And then that scales from those testimonials and stuff like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Second question, if that's all right, more like now going into the niching. So I've done a lot of research. I've found real people with real problems that really keep on venting in groups about it. I've done now content to that for an extended amount of time, but I really struggle to pull people out of groups. So my direct outreach, they don't accept and or read that at all. So the question is it possible from your experience that you have niches where it ticks many boxes, but just like given the emotional load and the corresponding anxiety, depression, and shame that people feel that
They don't take the next step.
they don't take because they're just
there's going to be many niches of that. And as much as, and I say this at the start, as much as we want a niche to work, if it doesn't, we've got to move on. So there are some niches that no matter how much logic and how much support, how much you give them, they've been so brainwashed in the old ways, they've just given up that there is any sort of help. They're just like, I'm not going to believe anything anybody says anymore. And there are niches like that. I don't know what they are, but I guarantee they're there. That's part of understanding the law of large numbers. Anything's possible in large numbers. So you've got to look at this, you know, they've got pain, Scott, you know, they've told me they want to pay, but it's this last thing, Scott, that I can't get them over the line and it's so small, that'll break the entire system. So if you've satisfied everything along that, done everything possible, it's either time to shift that niche and redesign it or reshape it, re-understand it, or change it and start somewhere else. But all the stuff you did beforehand doesn't go to waste. Because let's say those people start watching your stuff and 6 months from now, you have people book in and say, hey, I've got this problem and it's your old niche. So it doesn't go to waste. Someone will see it eventually. But we want to have short-term goal and then allow a long-term goal to catch up. So I'll give you a real example of this. I taught this 7-8 years ago in seminars and stuff. It fucking bombed. I couldn't get it to work because there's a lot of more elements in traveling and training seminars and trying to have ACH live. It was crazy. I gave it a big break and all we did was the 100K. I focused all of my attention on that, did about 6-7 years straight. Got that working. And lo and behold, look what showed up again. Everybody wants to learn my therapy. And now this has taken off bigger than 100K. Had I not done it back then or realized that it'll probably show up later, I would have lost out.
And so that basically, and I totally appreciate that, but that is now like one option. Like you do everything right, but it's just like the time is not right. The other option is like not niched enough, that I see that like it's not, like it's still too broad and people don't.
Because your content will narrow it down. So the words that are used on your banner will never motivate someone more than the content, because your content, you can get very specific about each detail. People read your banner, they just have to know what it is that you're doing. Changing a word from the to ands, you know, just as an example, will make no difference. It's better to get the symptom, all those extra symptoms to narrow down. It's better to get that in the content and leave your banner the same, because ultimately what's going to happen, I could take my banner away from all of my social media and everybody would still know what I do because of the amount of fucking content that's there. But the banner is just the easiest place to start. It's the lowest hanging fruit. You build content out of that. And then after a while, you can get rid of that banner and it will never worry again, but people will just associate what you do because they can watch all your content. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. And now in this case, so I've created a whole lot of content based on fairly recent symptoms. So every day I basically redo, all right, what's the latest question? And I answer that in a video. I get traction over Instagram. I don't get sales, as in I don't get strategy calls. Like there are people interested in the content now. And so you would think.
Doesn't work like that. If they were going to make a decision, they already would have. I would honestly look at changing the niche. You've been in it for a while.
And it is not, and I will just like mention 2 more things on that, because on the one hand, I literally started downloading Instagram when with this, like, so I have 0 following, and creating a following creates a certain time, developing trust to potential clients, it takes a certain time. Do you see more that as a reason, or is it that 75% of my target clientele is female and potentially overweight, and I'm this skinny dude?
You're drawing conclusions. No, you've got to take a step back. If they were going to book strategy calls, they would have by now. Okay, based on the amount of content and how long you've been doing this. I could grow an audience. I could have an email list of 20,000 people and have it for 5 years and have no one not make a sale from it. So the numbers are irrelevant. Okay. numbers help because it's more people seeing that stuff. But what we're looking for is a niche that's ready to take action as quickly as possible, not have to go through the whole trust and all that sort of stuff. We want them to basically make a decision straight away. So the only thing that's stopping them, and it could be anything that's happened inside their head, that last part of the puzzle, those people aren't there yet. It doesn't mean they won't be there in the future, but then you've got to ask yourself, am I happy to push this for 6 months? Because it might take 6 months. It might take another month. It might take 3 years. It might take 10 years before all of those people jump. Or do I go somewhere else, get traction from that, and know that other stuff will come eventually? Some niches take time to build up. Some niches are very quick. It's where are you and what your goals are for the business. That's a decision you'd have to make.
Yeah, and I understand that, and maybe just like to share that. So I now have potential access to understand a very different niche, and that is also like that feels emotionally, from my perspective, that feels much closer to me and my background. I will get more insight with more people talking to them, like literally talking a lot to them. So I reckon that I will get a lot of symptoms, a lot of major pain points, and therefore a new opportunity to re-niche. But in the meantime, it's like I have short-term pain. So the question is like how to bridge that short-term thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because we talked about this over Messenger, and I said do both.
Yeah, and that is just like highly time intense, and just like keep grinding and see what happens in both areas and see where the opportunities come up.
What other choices do you have? I'd work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get a business going. I did at some points because my business is going elsewhere. What other choice do people have? I gave up everything. It's not a smart thing to do, and it's definitely not healthy. But remember, if you want certain things to show up that are more abstract and don't happen often, you've got to do the things nobody else will do.
Yeah.
Elon Musk talked about it, and I only use him as a reference because he's an entrepreneur. He worked for 7 years straight, 7 days a week without a holiday.
Yeah.
18-hour days. And people go, oh, that's terrible. We wouldn't do that. There's a reason he's the richest man on the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's through that. So it's a decision the entrepreneur has to make. But you've got to give, and the only choice I ever gave myself is either I make this work or I give up completely. There's no in between with me.
Yeah.
It's either full or not.
Okay. Last question, promise. There are some people that say like, well, it's not about the product or the niche. It's just about finding an offer that is too good to be true, and to if there is a market, if there's demand, you just need to find what the market is looking for, and then it doesn't matter, like all the other fluff around doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. What is your point on, what is your view on that?
That's exactly what we teach in the 100K. It's exactly what it is.
That might potentially also like include to lower price and say, well, hey, this is a no-brainer because it's so good.
Price is irrelevant. Price goes back to economics. It has nothing to do with a personal input. I know people, get this, I know people that will join a $10,000 program where there's no testimonials or no proof that it actually works. Figure that out. But they won't join mine at $997. And we have 3,500 testimonials. Yeah. Figure that out. Illogical. People are crazy when it comes to those decisions.
Yeah.
What makes a product in demand? Does it work?
Yeah. And that's testimonials.
Yes, that's the only thing that matters. People say, no, it's the copy. It's the sales page. It's the funnel. Fuck off. It's not. It's does this thing fucking work or not?
Yeah.
And I'm living proof of that. We don't have sales page. All my sales pages have spelling mistakes. Some of the images are broken. They don't even work. Stuff doesn't load, and I don't care, because what's important is I could focus on that, which is tasks I hate doing, or can I just keep improving this product over and over and over again? Then you can get away without really doing any marketing. I mean, look at something like Tesla. I don't even know if they do marketing, adverts and stuff. The car speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense. I know it's sort of hard to grasp where we are to a big company like that, but the same principles exist. The only thing that matters in business is, does your product work? Now it's a benefit we have. How many times, for everybody, have you ever bought a product, regardless what it is, and it was just terrible, no matter how much they talked it up? There's so many bad products and services and courses out there that don't work. They can talk themselves up. There's a lot of fluff involved. But when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, it's very hard to find something that really, truly works. If you focus on that, Henning, doesn't matter how much other competition's out there, as long as your program works and nothing else does to an extent that yours is, you win every time.
Yeah, as long as you get these results and get it out to people that it works.
Yeah,
show them it does work.
There's going to be points in the niche finding thing where you want to bang your head against the wall and think, fuck, why don't people just get it?
Yeah.
And all it is just one little thing that's off. It was the same for me too. Does everyone notice that I don't include NLP in any of my marketing? It's just hypnotherapists and coaches. We're actually taking the word coaching out because it's more hypnotherapists are coming to us. Funny, we're doing ACH now, so it's worked out well. But I spent so long trying to get the NLP people into the course. Why? I'm trying to force it on them. They just don't want to join the course, which is fine. So I'm going to put my attention to where there's demands instead of where I want it to be.
Yeah. Awesome.
You want to go through that.
Good. All right. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for the two days. Awesome work. Thanks very much, Scott.
Time to practice. Absolutely.
Cheers, man.
Jordan, go for it.
Last point, I was one of those NLPers that actually did find your content that way. So
perfect. 1 out of a million. Yes. Excellent. It worked.
It was worth it. But my question is, I feel stuck comes to niches, surprise, surprise, because I know how to research. I've done extensive market research in the past for different things. I just don't know like what direction to move into, which Facebook groups to join, which Reddit subreddits to scour. How do I know where to get moving?
You don't. Let me ask you this. What's the easiest way to move a car if you don't have the keys?
I don't know.
Just got to push it a little bit, right? It moves eventually slower and slower. Very hard to steer and move a car when it's stationary. So it's better you go into Facebook groups, fuck it all up, but you will learn a lot. It's the same thing here when people say, what's the right question to ask? You don't know until you ask it. So the only way to find a good niche is you got to get moving. You got to push that car.
And then as the car is moving, what am I looking for that will indicate, I found something?
Yep. Real people with a real pain, active in Facebook groups, go looking for other products if you can differentiate what you do. Or I can tell you the big secret. You ready for it? Press play on video 2 and follow the fucking video. It's all there. I tell you what to look for. It's all there.
Okay.
What happens here, and I did this too, and I say this in the course, everyone overthinks this part because I used to as well. We get emotionally tied up. We go wanting to look for a niche that we want to work. We go blinded into these niches. You can't do that. Go into them just completely open to anything and go looking for what's actually there, not what we want to find. Does that make sense?
Just find problem groups, like anxiety, depression, whatever. Find profession groups
Support
and just treat it like an ACH session. Like just what's the problem and go from there.
What's the problem? Yeah. And as long as the groups are active, which means that we've got people to pull out of those groups, there's a real pain. It's not some fantasy pain that we've come up with. Like, I want to help women who were abducted by green aliens, but not gray aliens, because that's what I'm passionate about. That's not a real, that's made up in your head. And you can be passionate about that all day long, but if it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
So I did some research last night after we finished. I stumbled across some social anxiety groups.
Yeah.
And people were saying things like, this feels like it really held me back in my career. Like I'm not getting promotions because I don't know how to speak up. Like that felt like I was starting to get to something. Is that the type of thing that could count as, aha, I found something? Okay, cool.
It's a real problem. It's when people are asking questions in a group, what are they doing? They're asking for help. That's how the 100K got put together. That's why ACH exists in this format now. because I went through the groups and I found out what are all of the, I've got it in the whiteboard through there actually. What are all of the things where people are stuck? People were saying, takes too much time with clients, sick of doing scripts, bang, 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 bang. And I went, ACH covers a lot of that, but how can I make ACH cover all of that? Redefine, rechange, resuit and everything. And here we are. It's not based on what I want people to learn. Excuse my language, fucked it up in the past because I started to teach people what I wanted them to teach because that was pure ego. And then I wondered why I'm spending $20,000, $30,000 on Facebook ads. That's my experience of paid ads. Why are only 3 people showing up to my course? Now I run no ads and we've got 147 showing up because I'm feeling a desire, a need. So when people read the ACH stuff, they go, oh, that's exactly what I need. But they don't realize I actually took it from them because they were asking those things in the groups and on social media. I've taken those things and thought, how can ACH solve that? So when you go into the groups and you start looking for the problems, you start looking at that and think, can I solve that problem? Now that you know ACH, you can solve anything because what they're saying is the symptom. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like I actually have a fucking clue what to do for the first time in a long time. So thank you.
You're welcome. But remember, you got the Facebook group. Ask these questions in the group. Annoy me with them, tag me in it. That way you don't get stuck. But trust me, all the issues that people have with the business, I've been there. So that's why I'm always saying in the program, hey, don't do it like me. Do this instead.
Yeah, and I'm 99% sure I know what you'll say to this, but with social anxiety, is there any red flag that you see there with people because they have it would not be likely to reach out?
No, you won't know until we try.
Okay, that's
I know there are a couple of students who are in social anxiety niches and doing very, very well. I think Ava, I don't know if Ava's here. I knew she was on the last one. Ava, we did a testimonial with her. I think she's still in social anxiety. Is she on social? Yeah, it used to be social anxiety, something like that. She's crushing it. And awesome. I think she only works from YouTube. Last time I spoke to her, she says, I'm getting all my clients from YouTube. I don't even do Facebook with that anymore. And she's booked out a couple of months in advance. So it's a real problem. And yeah, she's making it work. But the only way to know, the only way to answer these questions lucidly is you've got to try something. Make sense?
Perfect sense.
Awesome. Make sure you're in the group. Make sure you ask questions, man.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Karen Hill, go for it.
Hi, Scott.
Hi.
Thanks. Okay, mine is the same as a lot of people's, back to the niche problem. But my problem is a little bit backwards, is because ACH works so well that what happened was that I just this is my first training, but I had watched your videos months ago and just started doing it. Started getting referrals from people. The referrals I'm getting, so I'm not getting anything consistent as far as finding a niche because it works on fucking everything, just like you said, every single thing. Mm-hmm. And so people are referring me, and so there's no strategy calls involved, any of that. It's people are saying things like telling their friends, call Karen, she'll help you. I don't know what she does, how she does it, whatever your problem is, just call. And this is, I'm making money doing this. And so but I know I need to actually stop and pick a niche. Yeah. I mean, to make a program work, because I've been through the 100K program. Mm-hmm. And my problem then was I had PTSD, which I didn't find a very,
yep.
Yeah. And thought that the program didn't work. I these people didn't want to pay for it basically. But so is it the same thing? How do I mean, because, and even today I did one with imposter syndrome, and, I've done them for so many different things now. Mm-hmm. How do I, and when you say passionate about something, I'm passionate about all of them. So how do you actually pick? I think that.
Yeah, I know where you are. You've got to be passionate on the business side to just pick a niche and knowing that anybody could come in at any time for anything. So even though I had smokers, I had people booking in for everything you can imagine. But my marketing was all smokers because I needed to have control over that. I needed consistency and control in one area.
Pick something, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you can fix it all. Just pick something and you've got something to market and get consistency with. Knowing that anybody can come in with anything because that's exactly what they're going to do. The marketing gets people in the seat. What happens after that is anybody's guess.
Okay, so
But the referrals from other people outside your niche, they will come in, and over time what will happen, guys, is you just get known for just being a good therapist, and referrals will pick up, and it can stop the marketing side because now you're just known as Karen Hill, the best therapist in the world.
yeah.
We've got to start somewhere.
Okay, so now I do have to go actually pick something, even though I can do, like you say, any of it because it works for all of it.
Just find a niche. Just find a niche that with the most willing amount of participants to get that under control, knowing that they're going to come in with a problem that's not the problems that you're going to be working on, and expect more referrals to come in. So that way you're getting control over both sides.
That makes sense. And I think maybe today I was thinking about this, but I did want to ask you, but you know, the crazy part, I did a few tests or a few samples with people, and that's when they started referring me. And one girl says, well, how much do you charge? And I said, $3,000. So my price started at $3,000 just doing videos from that. So it's almost like I feel like I should go up in price, but I did research today, like widows and widowers getting back in the dating market, huge numbers on Facebook, and being a widow myself, I thought maybe that would be a good just to pick because they're going to have other problems too, I would assume.
I haven't heard that niche yet. That's exciting. Go for it.
Okay. Well, you answered my question, but yeah, I just thought because it seems so backwards because like you say, this works on everything. And I live in proof that
because clients are going to come in with everything except the problem they think they have.
Exactly.
You get confidence and control in the business, confidence and control over the therapy. What more do you need?
And there's that is the key, that confidence and control. I walked in, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I just had the confidence, and they thought I had the confidence, and they were and
I don't know what I'm doing either. I only know to ask what's the problem. What happens after that is anyone's guess.
Yeah, the girl today says at the end of the session, she says, how did you do that? I want to learn how to do that.
Tell her my course costs $15,000. I'll give you a cut.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Karen,
all right,
go for it. Just unmute yourself, Karen.
I'm the other Karen Hill.
Yes.
There's two of us in the
there is. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Karen Hills. I like it. Yes.
Yeah. So look, I feel a bit silly asking this, but what do you call yourself? You know, I guess when you think hypnotherapy, you're a hypnotherapist, but that's not a good thing to call yourself. So, you know, on a business card or something like that, what do you call yourself?
Your name.
No title, not on LinkedIn or anything else. You're just
go to all my social
media. And I help.
You'll just see Scott Jansen. That's it. Because as soon as I lump myself together as a hypnotherapist, what am I doing? I'm now in a red incestual pool with all other, that's bad, I shouldn't say that, a pool of every other hypnotherapist and coach. And now, because I've called myself a hypnotherapist, I have to abide by the guidelines of these weird rules of the hypnotherapy, which is low prices, undercutting each other, selling packages, all of that stuff. And that model does not work. So the only way to break free of that model and to get away to a certain extent by having higher prices is you are no longer a hypnotherapist. You are a business owner, entrepreneur that happens to use hypnotherapy or coaching or ACH, RTT, NLP, whatever it is, to help your client get a result. Title is irrelevant.
Okay. All right. It's just people often ask you, what do you do? What are you?
Yeah, well, people ask.
You can't say therapist
you
because
tell them your niche. You would say, I help people quit smoking in their lunch break. That's what I do. That's your elevator pitch. I know everyone's obsessed with their fucking, I haven't been in an elevator for years, so I don't know when I need it, jokes. But you just tell people what you do. How you do it is irrelevant. Does that help?
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Mandy, go for it.
Here, okay. So I think maybe I heard some solution to this question, but what if it's a sensitive, if the niche you're considering is something sensitive, like I haven't narrowed it down to exactly what, but like helping adults that had childhood abuse, sexual abuse. And like, is that marketable or is that like going way too in a direction
it's definitely marketable. However, sometimes those keywords Facebook can flag and they'll delete your post, or they could delete your account. YouTube will do the same and all that. So you just got to be careful sometimes with the words, but it's still very marketable. I just don't know what those hot words would be that go against marketing practice.
Okay. So, I mean, I do plan on taking the 1000K program. So is that something you'll be able to help me walk through?
Yep. So first thing.
That's okay.
Yep.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
20, go for it.
Hi, good evening, or good afternoon over there.
Yes.
I think my question is, I did RTT, started doing sessions with that, took the 100K, and then got completely stuck in the first week of 100K. But I think hearing the questions is kind of like the same, very much the same thing, but really right now I kind of want to restart the 100K, but with ACH and just go from A to Z in 100K. And I tried and started and got stuck. You know, I don't need to give that whole thing because you know what that is, right? But anyway, that's kind of where I am. And I had one more therapy question, but as far as the business question, that was my main statement question.
Yep. My advice to your question / statement, turn your brain off and just follow it.
Yeah. Don't procrastinate.
Even when you're stuck, even if it feels weird, it feels scary, you get anxiety, you lose sleep over it. I don't care. Do it, because eventually it'll sort itself out.
Okay.
Go do it.
And a quick therapy question
Sure.
is the difference, like what you're saying is, you know, you don't want to cross the line where you're trying to fix the problem for the person. You want to have that distance to be objective, I guess, like where you care about the result, but you're not so wrapped up in a person or whatever that drama is.
Yep.
So how is, you know, the one thing is like sometimes I do like to find things that I feel very passionate about what I'm doing, that I do those things I have purpose and all that kind of good stuff, but that I don't cross that line.
Sure.
Just how do you navigate those two different things?
You've just got to be very aware of the questions that you ask. That's it. That's all you can do. But if you cross that line, it doesn't matter. Your client will correct you if you're wrong.
Okay.
And it just means it's another dead end. Just got to go somewhere else.
Oh, because basically the way to perceive if you're crossing the line is you get to a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, client rejects it. You say, well, what you should do with that is go do this. And they say, no, I don't want to do that. It's rejected. You go somewhere else. So instead of trying to find out what they should do, find out why people are stuck there. That's a big difference. And then you proceed from there. So we dig into the problem.
Okay, thank you. And I think going back to do 100K after this is my first time to do the ACH. I think even though I took RTT, I think this is a different perspective for me.
Of course it is. Principles. Principles, principles, principles. Makes sense? Maya, go
Scott, sorry, before Maya jumps in, I just want to say thank you so much for these brilliant 2 days. I've really loved it.
You're welcome.
Thank you to all the people who took part in the demos as clients and therapists, and all the people that want to practice. It's 4 a.m. here and my eyes won't stay up, so I've got to crash.
Please go get
Thanks
some
a lot,
rest.
guys. See you
You're
all
welcome.
soon.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
Just give me 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to get some water. So just bear with me and then we'll come back to questions.
So who's joining the 100K?
I've already joined it, but I'm taking it seriously now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I joined it about a year ago and haven't done much past week 1, but got to get going again.
Yeah.
I want to ask him what if he recommends, like, because I've only done this ACH training, and I wonder if he recommends the master ACH or.
I think I asked that question, Bonnie, and he said that you just do 100K first, do ACH first, and that comes after. You know.
Okay. Right. I want to get good at this, you know, like. Yeah. So I thought that would be a better way to do it, but no, huh?
I'm taking over your gig, Scott. I answered a question for you.
I'm going to go then. All right. You can take over. Thank you. Where were we? Maya, were we at your, yes.
I'm just wondering about, so my existing clientele, do they end up migrated into the new format, or do we just stick with what they expect? That doesn't make sense, right?
Not at all. You give clients what they need, and what clients need is the quickest breakthrough possible.
And so this contingency, are they being given an explanation or a heads up?
Hell no. Just fix them.
So they just come in for their next appointment, whether it's 6 or 8 or 12 or whatever, and it just feels different, and that's just how it's going to be now?
Do you reckon your client will care any less or even notice that it's different?
I kind of feel they will notice. That's why I'm wondering.
That's in you, not them.
Okay.
That's more in you.
All right. So we just kind of treat it like this is just what's the most casual thing in the world, and this is what.
Just like casual dating, no pressure.
No pressure.
You'd have a good memory for this stuff, guys. Yeah, just dive into it. If you worry about all the what ifs, it'll be absolute hell inside your head. I like to dive in and then learn how to swim after. I might swallow some water and drown for a little bit, but I'll pick it up eventually. That's easier that way. Erica. Just unmute yourself, Erica.
Okay. Well, here's my situation. You know, I'm 67 years of age and I'm coming to the end of my working career, but I have to work only because of financial situation.
Okay.
Which I won't go into. So I really only see myself probably working for another 5, maybe 10 years, depending.
Mm-hmm.
I have no desire to build an empire. Mm-hmm. I really only want to work 3 days a week because I have another avenue that I'm pursuing. So I suppose the question I want to ask is, would the 100K be worthwhile doing, even if it's just for a few years?
Well, of course it would be.
Okay. I mean, I have a website. I get all my business, my website, you know, because my website's 14 years old, so I'm top. Mm-hmm. So I have enough clients every week as it is, but I have this idea, because I'm very tired of doing smokers and weight loss and what have you, but I have this idea only because it's prevalent in my life, is working with the parents of severely mentally ill children. Well, I say children, they're adults.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, my husband and I run a group for parents of schizophrenics, for the parents of schizophrenics, and they are tied in knots. And so I just feel as though there's a need there.
You've got to weigh up. Does that need satisfy the extra money I want to make, or is it more of just a passion project now? Am I getting enough? Am I getting enough clients now, or do I want to increase my income? I'm just going to.
I think it's because I'm very tired of the smokers and the weight loss.
Yeah.
That I thought, what would I like to niche in? Because I've been banging my head. I mean, I've heard about niching for a long time. It's not new. But it just occurred to me last night. These people, I mean, it's anxiety and stress, but it's for a specific group.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the niche. I don't know if there's any money in it. That stuff you'd have to research. You'd have to figure out, and you want to figure that stuff out before you make the leap. But again, it just depends on what your goals are with your business. Do you want to make more money? Do you want to make less? Do you want to automate it? Do you want to learn about social media? Do you want to change the entire thing? It just depends on what you're trying to do.
Well, I would certainly, I mean, my husband does most of the marketing for, I mean, So I have to confess that I hate Facebook.
You won't like my program then. I would say don't do my program then, because it's 99% heavy social media.
Well, okay.
I could have been a real bad salesperson. No, buy all my products, $10,000. No,
No.
If
See,
you don't want to do the marketing, don't do my program.
I don't like, because I did it before with a different program.
Yep, that's
where
fine.
you're
That's fine.
hunting out groups and you're infiltrating them and offering content and what have you. And it's very, very
hate my
time
program.
consuming.
Of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time consuming. So no,
Very time-
I would not do my program.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. But if you change your minds, do it. No, you won't like it, so I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Not unless I can get someone else to do it.
Maybe get your husband to join it.
Yeah, I mean,
have a
we
think about it.
we both love marketing. I mean, but I just don't particularly care for spending hours on Facebook.
Yeah, well, you're going to
That's all.
spend days on Facebook with me, so you won't like it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Helen, go for it.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I've been doing YouTube as well. And I just wanted to ask, I've just had this weird comment to one of my YouTube videos. And it was, I asked, can you smile in photos without retaking it to get it perfect? And so a dude has just written question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. How do you comment to that?
Move on to the next thing.
Okay, so don't.
I get all types of stupid messages. Like, people will comment under every one of my videos and say, you don't look professional in your videos. Why aren't you wearing a collared shirt? Who fucking cares? Listen to the content. I could take that as a criticism and stop doing YouTube. I don't care what people comment about. And unfortunately, being live on social media, you're going to attract some very strange people with very strange comments.
Yeah.
Just let it go and move on. As long as it's not a personal attack, if it is, block them. You don't have to deal with that. That's not right. But if it's just something abstract, sometimes people comment under my stuff and I think, what are you talking about? It's not even what I'm talking about. Where you just move on to the next person.
Okay. And so you'd be proud now that you can Google Helen Buchanan.
Yeah.
Guess who comes up? I'm so proud.
I'm gonna have a look. Is this on
And
YouTube?
no, Google.
Google.
Not sure about YouTube just yet. I'm
How do you
getting
spell
there.
your last name?
Buchanan, B-U-C-H-A-N-A-N.
It showed up. I didn't have to type it all the way in.
I've got to finish. I've got to tweak it because I'm moving. But yeah, it's been so inspiring because I'm like telling everybody, can you just Google my name? And I'm like,
Greater Newcastle area. Is that you?
Yep.
That's you. You're second.
Ah,
Second.
okay.
But there is another Helen Buchanan.
I know. I've got to bump her off.
Yeah, we need to get at her. Or let's get rid of her. No, but you're second. Well done. That's awesome.
Thank you. So it's just, yeah, that's, has been inspiring me as well. So still a long way to go. And I just want to let others know, because this is my second ACH. So I practiced with another coach last year, and I now have been 6.5 months not drinking alcohol, not having the problem. It's absolutely incredible. It's changed my life in so many areas. It's just magic, and it inspires other people.
Yeah. Was alcohol the problem?
No, of course not.
That's why it worked. Good job. Well done. That's awesome. And isn't it a lot more confident when you have your own little breakthrough with this? You think, oh my God, it can work.
Yes.
Because I knew what was coming. I knew what the therapist was going to say, and it still fucking worked. How does that work?
Yes.
Imagine what
And
it's
it was
like
the
with
most-
people that don't understand it.
Yes. So it's good to be proof, but it's phenomenal. The changes in me it's made.
Yeah, because remember that one problem connects to a lot of stuff. And when you change a root cause problem compared to just a symptom problem, it has tentacles and everything. That's how stuff unfolds, where everything starts to change. And that's why your prices are so high, because that's inevitable outcome of all your clients. Everything changes.
Well, I thought, oh, imagine the money I would have saved not buying alcohol. It's
part of the future value deck in the training.
Yeah. Although I've become Deso driver.
You're that boring person. Yeah. I used to be that person with my friends. I said, fuck this, you're not even paying for petrol. I'm not picking you guys up anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let them
Thank
deal
you.
with the hangovers while you deal with your business.
Mm.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well done. Great job. Johan, go for it.
I have two things, Scott. The first one is just a comment. One of your previous students, also from South Africa, she saw me in a group and she contacted me, and I had a great chat with her. And
was that Marie?
Yeah. She said just to encourage the people that are still on the fence, because I think she's been doing it for 6 years or so, and she said it's going so well, extremely well. And something for us that's also have difficulty with posting videos and make any posts on social media. She said that they all have a ripple effect. Even stuff that she did long ago now will bring in a client. And she said in the beginning, when she went on to podcasts, invited to do podcasts, she thought, oh, business is going to just like boom. And it didn't happen immediately, but later on, people will say, oh, I saw that podcast or I listened to that podcast. And now she's doing so amazingly well. So just to encourage the other people who's not there yet, and to let them know that it's good to see your ads of all the thousands of people posting this, but when you hear it from a real person talking to you, it makes a very big difference.
Did Marique tell you why she joined in the first place?
No.
She read my post and she was so furious and angry with me. She wrote a very angry post. How dare you? How dare you? She messaged me, and then about an hour later, she was a student. But it comes down to what I say in the program. Your content needs to irritate people to tell them the truth. And if it pisses people off, but it has a level of truth, instead of just all the fluffy bullshit that everybody else posts, you now become the expert. Ask her about it. That's how our relationship started. She hated me, but she saw the light.
Okay.
Speak. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks. And another thing about Facebook again, I'm having trouble with people. I know you said it takes time to get people, but I'm stuck there waiting on Facebook and trying to build more connections there. But should I just move on in the meantime and just do the YouTube and other stuff?
Yeah, you want to do everything simultaneously. Facebook does take time. It's getting slower, and then it will get faster. Slow. It is. And what's funny is I only used to teach Facebook. So that's what it was really irritating. That's why you do YouTube and Instagram and LinkedIn. You do all those things at the same time. Some are slow, some are fast. But we call them fractals. Fractals is if you have something big, it looks the same, but if you zoom right in, it's also the same. You see fractals in like seashells. That's the same small as it is large. Okay. It's the same thing with social media. All the little fractals that you create one big, large caricature of this is why Johan's the expert. But you've just got to keep chipping away at all those things.
I know you said that you did not have much success on LinkedIn, but are there other people doing well on LinkedIn? I have a very big
that's just my niche, which is really surprising because every therapist and coach is on LinkedIn, but we got zip from LinkedIn. I was really surprised with that. But the only way I knew that was to do it relentlessly and then take the feedback from it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Okay.
There are some
so
students.
I will focus on the other stuff more, but I'll do Facebook in the meantime, but I'll continue with the rest as well.
You want to everything simultaneously. Make the biggest splash possible. Make sense?
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Barbara, we'll get last two questions and we're there. Barbara, go for it.
Yeah, so funny that pissing people off just came up before because that was exactly my question. I I had just posted something and I was really pissing people off, but there's still this people pleaser inside myself. So there's like this learning to become anti-fragile, but also not hurting people, you know. I feel it feels
you're telling people the truth. We're not doing it to be an asshole. We're telling people the truth.
Yeah, but people get really offended when you tell them that they're really creating things inside which can be cured so quickly. You know, they get really pissed off.
Think about really how pissed off people are when they go looking for experts and all the expert says is just breathe and life is amazing. That's all this shit people post and it doesn't differentiate you. So I'd rather piss people off, not to be an asshole, but piss people off to show them the truth. This is the raw reality. Either like it or lump it. If you accept it, I can help you. I can move you forward and you'll love me afterwards. But if you do social media like everybody else, selfies, dancing, life brilliantly.
I've done that before, so I know what that was.
Yeah, so, and it's the same stuff and it doesn't differentiate. But if you look at the biggest gurus around the world that do well, not the ones that say they do, because a lot of those out there, the ones that really do well, they'll speak the truth and they have no problem being anti-fragile and they have no problem separating their audience into lovers and haters, because that's part of it. You can't please everybody. Makes sense?
And I have another question, because I tried to explain yesterday what we were doing here these 2 days to my family, and that was almost impossible. You know,
it's hard. Yeah. I can't even explain it. If someone asks me, it's very hard to explain. That's why I say, just come along to the course and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Very hard to explain it.
Good.
That's why I say don't make videos trying to explain hypnosis, because it'll make no sense.
Yeah, that's the other thing, you know, doing these videos and talking about like there's something underlying their patterns, to something in their subconscious. You can't go a lot further. Is that correct?
Yeah,
because it's just
you miss people. People don't understand it. So you just want to give them a glimpse, like, wow, this Barbara lady, she knows something I don't. That's all social media needs to do. That's filling in the gap. But imagine trying to explain processing to people that have never learned therapy before. It'll make sense to you and me, but not to anyone else. So there's no point. That's why I see a lot of people, therapists and coaches, especially outside of our program, who sit there relentlessly talking about inner child and hypnosis and healing and quantum this and 5D that. And the only people that understand it are therapists and coaches that are not their clients. The average human being looks at it. I always imagine showing my mum a video of ACH. She'd look at it and go, what the hell is this? But mum, you should come to this course. I don't even know what that is. It doesn't make sense to me. It's the same thing for our social media. So your social media has to use the words your clients use at the level that they are, not the level that you are.
Yeah, because I got a lot of feedback also from other coaches when I posted that specific post, which pissed people off because they were really cheering on me, like somebody said the truth. So it was quite interesting.
And it's only coaches that understand it, and we think, fuck, they're not even my clients. Don't even read. I want real people to understand it.
Yeah.
But that's part of the learning experience as well.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tanya?
You know, I signed up with 100K ages ago, and it's been an interesting ride on it, to be honest. And you're probably going to throw this right back at me, so I'm waiting for it. The bit that pissed me off about the program is the DMing, because I get 5 million of them in my own inbox constantly. And 1 or 2 here or there, no problem, delete. But, 10, 20 a day starts to roll me up. And Adelaide being a small market, not that I just work in Adelaide, obviously I work internationally, but when your reputation's gone, it's gone. And there's a lot of talk, especially in the groups and the niches that I'm in, about how insanely irritating that behavior is. And that you lose friends big time in that space. Now, clearly I'm not here to make friends, but what I am here to do is those people are coming through me from my content. But I'm wondering, I want to go back into the 100K and move through with some other stuff, because I got challenged by the VA side of it as well. No issues with control or letting go there at all. But what I'm getting at here is there any other change of perspective that you've got around the DM side of things, because what I seem to do is I've got no problem getting the clients and no problem with the results and all that jazz. Testimonials are a fun one. They're always anonymous because of the niche I work in.
Yep.
But at the same time, I guess the way I'm getting it is by putting out the content, putting out anonymous testimonials, they're coming to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I want to make it more and I want to make it bigger and better and retire earlier. But where do we get around this DM side of things? Throw it at me, Scott. I'm ready for it.
Just fucking do it.
Oh, God, I just can't stand it.
I don't like it either. But it's the quickest from having no one to somebody. What's funny is the amount of people that join my course that get pissed off because I have DM'd them and they join the course anyway.
All right.
It's frustrating, I know, but it's just I'm trying to give you a very quick yes or no from a potential client. What's funny is the people that's going to the Facebook groups, I see it as well and I just laugh. So I would never DM they're telling me a lot about their entire life and career. It's not that. That's just projecting. But I do DMs all the time. My VA does it now. It's just copy and paste and I don't care. We get all sorts of people responding back to it. Some people block us, tell us to piss off, but it is literally the quickest way from nothing to something. That's why
that was going to be one of my other questions. Is your VA very clearly telling the world that they are your VA and not pretending to be you? Because, you know, I don't like manipulation and deception in that space, so that they're kind of blocking and annoying them. I mean, sure, they'll come back and block me too.
Yeah.
But using that almost like disassociation from the VA at the same time to be able to do that.
No, the VA says something like from Scott Jansen's office. I think it says something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably even block myself if I do it.
Yeah. The VA thing, the DM thing, I get it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But it's simple. It's copy and paste. Let's imagine I copy and paste 100 messages and I get 99 people saying, fuck off. But I have one person who wants to pay me $4,500 for my therapy maximizer. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
I had that last week.
Yeah.
Took the
So I was
VA.
going to ask you about the therapy maximizer side of things, because I'm at that head butting point of scaling and going, I've got to start doing one-to-many. I do one-to-many on the speaking side of things and the speakers work I do. But in the therapy side of things, you know, the coaching side of things, that's got to go one-to-many. So you did mention though that using ACH, not necessarily scalable to one-to-many. So is there purpose then in going into therapy maximizer if using this approach?
Yeah, because you want to start making an online program. But we also teach things like Udemy, which are short courses, passive income. That's awesome. Okay, that alone will probably substitute your entire therapy career. But if you're butting ahead with time, like I'm running out of things, the only evolution is to go to groups or online programs.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing. You want to start doing that now because once you retire, or you want your online program or your Udemy programs to be giving you money while you're sitting back
absolutely.
Coffee with your husband. I'm actually setting it up now. Everything we're doing now, and I'm just about to turn 39, everything I'm doing now, I'm setting up for retirement later. I want YouTube and Udemy to be my income for the rest of my life. And if I do that now, it'll pay off later.
Yeah.
So
therapy maximizes that sort of path that you're talking about.
That's the only evolution to make. Now, here's the funny thing. The people that are on therapy maximizer go from one-to-one where they were charging $2,500, but now one-to-one becomes the premium product and it's double the price. And they're
well, I'm looking at that 10 grand mark. So,
why not?
Getting to that, that's the transition I'm in now to go, all right, screw you. I don't want to work with more than one person a month. 10 grand, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and if someone turns around and says, "Well, Tanya, I can't swing that. That's a lot." Great, I've got an online.
You're not my client.
Or I've got an online program for $1,000. Do that instead.
Yeah,
it's a win-win. That's the only way to scale, is because time is the biggest. Time's money for us, as you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially, and unlike you, I'm split between the kids and the rest as well. So I do want to enjoy my life. It's this is the long game for me.
Yeah, Udemy and things like that is stupid. I mean, we get Udemy to between about $5,000 and $7,000 a month. I don't do anything for it. I send 3 emails a month, and I give you those email templates to use. And those emails, those people from Udemy turn into 100K coaching, turn into Therapy Max, or turn into ACH.
So you're teaching the funnels and all that kind of stuff too?
No, you don't need a funnel.
Okay.
A funnel, all it is here's my Udemy course. If you like this course, I say it in every program on Udemy, let me know if you want to join 100K. There's nothing in between, because then there's too much complexity.
Yeah.
So
and that's it. I mean, there's so many people selling me so much complexity. I'm like, you know what? I can do complexity myself.
I don't have any funnels.
Yeah.
I don't run ads. I don't have funnels. I don't speak on stage. I don't do podcasts. I don't do joint ventures. I don't leave my house.
I found Scott.
Yeah, you've got a dog, thank God.
I've got a dog.
Do you have a life, Scott?
Yeah, it's with you guys. But just to show you, you can get a lot done without complexity. You don't need funnels and all that stuff. That doesn't get clients. It becomes the product.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott. I really appreciate time. I'm going to go and rest my COVID voice now.
Yeah, please.
It sounds sexy though. Maybe I could charge more for it.
Yeah, I was UMing right there. There you go. It's new Ericsson. Awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So myself and like 2 other people just said we found Scott on Udemy, and now here we are, and we're getting ready to buy the 100K program.
Yeah, and I'll just
works.
upselling it. No, joking, but it works. It's part of what we do, but it's just educating. And again, it's something we could teach everybody as well. Maya, go for it.
Okay, so I'm the level before where Tanya was just talking about, and I'm also a one-woman show, and I like that. I'm good to stick with that model, but I have been trained in the funnels, email, newsletter mentality. So my first question is to make sure that I'm understanding that that's like the old school script format, and we're now moving away from it to a more cutting edge digital approach. Am I right? I'm following you there.
Yeah, you're just going complete social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Funnel,
so we're
email.
Replaced by social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Because that's where your clients are.
And by the way, I built my business that way with not a dollar spent. So I agree with you. Obviously, it's possible. I don't know where all those people came from, but they've all been paid.
I think this is the first time I've met you. Where did you find out about my stuff?
We met on Instagram.
So it works.
Which is where I've met everyone who's paid me money as well. So it definitely works. There's no doubt.
No, but I didn't have to take it from Instagram to a funnel to a free ebook to this. It was just take my course or not. That's.
I think so. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Okay, and so my next question is, as I make this transition now, so now that people are coming less often and they're paying more money, I have to meet more people. So now the challenge is.
No. Your time's going to be spent doing social media.
Right. That was my question. Is so now that margin that I'm gaining is going into creating content.
It's
which
like
now creates people that follow for a long time.
Exactly. It's like getting interest on your bank account. Instead of spending the interest, you put the interest back in, so it builds the higher bank account. You're doing that over and over. So your time now, when people say, Scott, I'm going to grow the business, then the time I save on clients, I'm going to go on holidays. Not yet. You're not. Build it out first and do that stuff later. Make sense?
No, I get it, but I guess because I like setting a schedule and I set like several year schedule, I just want to know. So now the balance is changing from 80% clients to like 80%. 40.
It's the 80-20 rule we actually talk about in 100K, 80% marketing, 20% clients. Because that meets the economics. But what does everybody do? 80% clients and 20% marketing. Then their income does this, because they run out of time to get clients for the next day because they're too busy sitting with clients today.
Yes, that's correct.
So
okay, got it. I'm with you. Thank you.
As we do with everything, we do the opposite.
Got it. See you at 100K.
We'll be there. I'll get last question. Magdalena, go for it.
Yeah, sorry, last question. Putting yourself out there with other groups, that's your DM, right?
No, so DM is what we do is when we're in Facebook groups, there's always people asking questions like, I keep attracting asshole men. Does anyone have any advice of how I could attract my soulmate? You would go into that Facebook group, you'd get that question, you'd create a piece of content about it, because it's probably everybody's got that same question. then what we do is we message people and say, hey, I saw this question in a Facebook group. Has anyone answered this for you? Well, if not, here's a video that I created. And it starts that rapport thing, and it starts to show them, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. Then we get them on a call, sell them into a program if they need it.
Right. So I have actually got myself into a group, which is really good. It's a holistic wellness kind of thing. And I have done a DM to somebody. What if you get kicked out saying that this lady keeps DMing me about helping me with my issues and everything?
I get kicked out of shit all the time. I don't care. I just move on to the next thing.
Okay.
Yep. I don't listen to those rules. You know, in the Facebook rules where they say you are not allowed to DM people. I break that rule.
What if they kick you out from Facebook totally?
Facebook can only do that, not someone in a group. Because you've got to think, what are people learning by being inside one of those groups? Nothing. They're just all whinging to each other. So it's better you take them out and actually help them with that.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's just one of the strategies. That's not the entire thing. That's just one thing you can do. There's many other parts of the system to make that thing work. It's not individual. It's part of a complex system.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, so you say you do more, less clients and more on the social media.
Yep.
So I feel like I wouldn't be getting enough clients to support the, everything else that I'm doing, the courses and everything else. So do you spread yourself too thin, or?
The only way you're going to get clients is doing the social media.
Yeah. Okay.
So if someone doesn't, it's funny, people say, I'm not getting any clients. And I say, you doing social media? No, but I can't figure it out. I'm not getting clients. The answer's there. That's the only way to get clients, is to do social media. The more social media you do, ultimately, the more clients you will get over time. The less social media you do, the less clients you get. It's a simple equation. And because we're not having to see as many clients, because our prices are high, I don't have to invest my time in sitting in front of people over and over. I lose money by sitting with people, with clients.
Yeah.
And the longer I spend with them, the more I have to distribute that income over long periods of time. The economics gets thrown out.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Makes perfect sense. So I'll see you at well, I won't see you because it's an online course.
Yeah. Remember, I might not let you in yet. I don't know. I've got to think about it. You know what the details are.
Yes, you will.
All right, guys. That is
Bye.